Show. It's a Mac Man Morning Show. It's the 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 Mac Man Morning Show. Sitting at home when you're in your car. It's the Mac Man Morning Show. No matter if you get far. It's the Mac Man Morning Show. You better tune in quick or you might just miss. It's the Mac Man Morning Show. The best show this side of the sea. It's the Mac Man Morning Show. 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 It's the Mac Man Morning Show.
And good morning to everybody on this wonderful, wonderful Wednesday morning. You're listening to WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial. This is the Mac Man Morning Show. I'm James Mack. I am your host for this wonderful, wonderful day that we're having. Beautiful day outside. The weather is wonderful. It is also great uh, sunshine that's out, and people are out and about, children going to school. And I believe that this is a wonderful day. And this is the day that the Lord made. I'm grateful to be alive and to be well. I'd like to say good morning to all of our listeners from WKRA, all of our wonderful, wonderful, wonderful listeners, wherever you may be. You may be in your homes, your places of business. Uh, I'd like to say wonderful, wonderful good morning. Uh, I have the link to our show in our chat. We got a wonderful show as usual coming up. Y'all come on in. Like to say good morning to our YouTube audience. Thank you for your support each and every day that we come on. Like to say good morning to our executive director, Dr. J, and to everyone that is here, to our chief correspondent. I said what I said to Ms. Sharon Reed. Good morning to you. And we're still grateful that your son, Pastor Anthony Reed, is out of the hospital. We've been praying for him. Yeah, we pray here. Yeah, we don't just talk. Good morning to Mrs. Von Moore, to everybody that's here. Good morning. It is Wednesday. I don't know why they call it Hump Day. Yeah, yeah, I know I'm nuts. I don't know. They got all kinds of names for days. I'm just grateful to see it. I'm grateful to be alive and well. Good morning to Little Red, our dear brother in Clarksdale, Mississippi, at the Reds Blues Lounge over there at uh, 398 Sunflower in uh, the great city of Clarksdale, Mississippi. I'd like to say good morning to everyone in Clarksdale. Good morning to everybody in Independence. I'd like to say good morning to you. I'd like to say everybody over in the Fayette County, over there in Oxford. Good morning to you over there in Batesville, over there in Panola County. We'd like to say good morning to all of our dear friends over in Horn Lake, also over there in Hernando that hears us, our friends in Memphis. Like to say good morning to everyone in Memphis and Shelby County and everywhere. Good morning to our wonderful people in Byhalia. Good morning, Byhalia. Good morning. Thank you for listening. We appreciate our national audience. Thank you for everyone that's listening in Chicago. Good morning to the Chi, and good morning to Atlanta and to Texas. Good morning to everyone in Texas. We'd like to say good morning to you also. Our friend over in Alaska. Y'all don't think we got no friends over in Alaska? Yeah, we got some people over in Alaska that listens to us at the military base, to all of our service men and women that keep us safe each and every day. We like to say good morning to you. Good morning to our wonderful chief correspondent. Uh, I said what I said. Good morning to you, ma'am. Good morning.
Well, good morning, James. How
You got
everybody
your
doing
coffee.
today? Huh?
You sound like you had your coffee this morning.
Oh, every morning, James. I got to have that coffee.
Well,
They not gonna go right if
well,
I don't get my coffee.
Lord help us, I tell you. Well, good morning to everybody. We're just happy to have this great opportunity for us to come together again. Uh, okay, y'all know who this guy is right here. Those of you that can see on our YouTube page, some call him a prophet. Some call him a truth teller. Some call him just saying it like it is. Sound like you, I said what I said. This man right here, you can't see, but when you get the replay, you will see. We like to welcome all of you that are here. This is Cat Williams. hmm It's Brother Cat Williams, one of the funniest people in his field of comedian. Him and Lee are my favorite comedians. Brother Lee should be here shortly. Uh, uh, he said some things that came to pass and they're still coming to pass with the rocking of the Mr. P. Diddy and others that have come up in this tragic indictment. I'm not saying that the man is happy or anything, but you can't say that he did not tell you so. And he did. He predicted it. He said 2024 was going to be the year that the covers was going to come off. And let me tell you something. The covers have come off. We're going to be talking about that situation a little bit today. We have a wonderful show planned. We still are in part three of our series, uh, the series that our chief correspondent is doing this week on the Grandfather Clause series. And today we're going to be talking about how we honor our forefathers, something that's real important. I don't think people understand that your legacy, the legacy that you have, whether it starts out not so good or good, either way it goes, it is your legacy. What do you want your legacy to do? How do we honor our forefathers in a time of turmoil and in a time of uncertainty as far as where our government is going? Uh, what are we going to do? I'd like to say good morning to WKRA and the wonderful staff at our studios. We'd like to thank you. We'd like to welcome all of you here uh, at the Mac Media 3 production studio, uh, coming to you live and direct each and every morning at 9 a.m. Central, 10 o'clock Eastern for the MacMan Morning Show. I'm excited every day when I get a chance to be able to talk with everybody and to give you the greatest uh, information and inspiration. We're on the roll. We're doing what we have to do. We're improving every day, and it's just good to be alive and well. Isn't it good to be alive and well? I'm sure that it is. And
Yes,
I
it
said
is,
what I said.
James.
Yeah, I know. Our national correspondent go holler over there. And she's got a wonderful report. We're going to be talking about a few things this morning. There's a lot of things that are happening. Please, folks, keep your minds and your hearts tuned and prepare. Early voting or absentee voting is getting ready to start. I'm going to have a guest, hopefully, if we can get them on tomorrow, to speak about what you need to do, Mississippi, to if you're not going to be able to go to the polls on the 5th of November. You might have to work early or you have to do something. Try absentee voting. Your vote is already in. You know that you've done what you had to do and you did your duty. It is your duty to do. To go out and to vote, and we're going to have experts. We're going to try to see if we can get two county circuit court clerks to come on and give us some directions. I'm going to see if I can touch basis with the Marshall County uh, circuit court clerk, and also down in the Delta, we're going to get another Delta clerk to tell you how, not just how important it is to vote, but how important it is for you to get your vote and it is counted. I'm going to go to the weather right quick and do our forecast. And we're going to get right into our day. Listen, hey, this it's a beautiful day out there. It is delightful. It's a delightful day ahead for the Mid South that includes sunshine. Of course, we got some northeasterly winds, and this afternoon's high should be in the 80s. It's going to really be pleasant on this great Wednesday. This weather pattern is going to likely continue for the rest of the week, right into the weekend, and all these temperatures are norms for this time of the year. The final day of summer, the summer of 2024 is wrapping up. Imagine that. It seems like we done ran through it a whole year almost. It is September and we're here, but fall officially arrives on Sunday. And you can learn more by uh, uh, staying tuned and I don't think the clocks go back right about now, but fall is here. You can feel it. It is really wonderful. The temperatures are feeling really great for all of you. For the kids that are going to school, they don't have to have umbrellas and everything. Um, but it is a wonderful morning right now in Oxford. It is 61. San Antonio has that same temperature at 61. In Olive Branch and South Haven, it's 60, and it is 63 at WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial. And for the greatest, this is the greatest station anywhere. WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial. Reminding us, we like to thank you all. Yes, 7 weeks until the election, folks, and we got to get ourselves prepared and ready for what's getting ready to come. I said what I said. Our national and our chief correspondent is here. We're waiting for Brother Lee. He should be here shortly. He had a stopover that he had to do. But what is on your agenda? Look, what in the world is going on with this man that he thought that he was going to get away with what? And I'm not judging him. Everybody that's 90 babies, I won't say 80s babies, but I'll say your 90s. You grew up in the 90s, right as hip hop and house music and everything was coming together. Those of y'all that don't know nothing about house music, y'all look it up, you know, where its origins came from. But this young man, as I would call him, he ain't young. He's an old fella too. Uh, Mr. Sean Puffy Combs was indicted and arrested on yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. He went no day before yesterday. He had his arraignment. His initial arraignment was yesterday, and he's right now in custody because of the dangerous and the alleged uh, acts that he committed upon people and how he has done things. I'm going to go to something in a little bit, and I just want to ask what anybody thinks. You know, it saddens me, and I said what I said is going to come in and probably talk a little bit more about how she feels about what's going on. He's not the only one. He's not the worst one, but he is one of these people that have gotten into this culture of, I don't know where it comes from. I don't know what kind of people that he has around him. But for those of us, we got enough marks on the race of people. People are trying to unalive us and trying to get rid of us and make us go back to slavery, which we're not going. I ain't going. I ain't picking nothing. I dare you come out with a whip with me. We just gonna have to get to fighting or something going on. I'm not gonna let you just roll over on me or my folks. And I'm telling you right now, if you don't believe that it is serious business about this election, I don't care what color you are or whatever the case may be, we got a madman that's out there that's creating narratives and saying, and we're going to talk about him too, that these people have some diabolical mind and thinking. I want to say this. I think that somebody might say, James, you nuts, but I'm going to say it anyway. Even though this person has been allegedly, and we probably know that most, some is true of the allegations. And even though, you know, he's under these circumstances, he's still somebody human. Somebody got to him. Somebody showed him and taught him the behavior that he has. Is he a monster? I'd go almost that far. But there's a root cause. Somebody's behind him. He's the front man. He's just like the orange man. He's the front man for the evil that leaks and lurks. Our children are leaving off of the corners as they walk to the store and to school and abducted and trafficked all over this country. Young men and women, boys and girls are apprehended and used for that type of slavery. It's a slavery. I don't care whether you're black, white, whatever. If you doing this, you pimps, players, and hustlers, and thinking that Superfly is still alive. Well, you better look at your boy Puffy right here. He ain't going nowhere, and he's a billionaire. And they told him he ain't going nowhere. We don't care how much you do or what you pay. He put his houses up, about $50 million worth of house, and thought he would just walk out and out of court. His family was there. His children are there sitting there rooting you on, knowing that these things had happened, even probably in their company. What kind of example is being set by this person? I'm just gonna tell it like it is. And y'all, a lot of y'all buys music and whatever the case may be. Just because you can sing pretty love songs, don't mean that you got love in your heart and that you're decent. We got to be careful about the people that we elevate, and we got to hold them accountable when things like this go on and when things like this happen. And it's in everybody's best interest to uh, make sure that we be careful about the people that are in our lives. So we're glad and we're blessed to know that there are people out there that are fighting. There are victims out there, people that we might not ever know. Your niece, nephews, and I said nieces and nephews because it's alleged that these are some horrific things. That indictment that was read, I was so ashamed as a black man. I was ashamed that this brother's sitting up here being charged with this kind of thing. Think about what they looking at. We're not the evil ones. It's somebody behind him. It's somebody behind him that's pulling the strings and doing all these things that are going on. And they need to get those people. But I tell you this, if you don't think that karma's gonna come around, you'll see. I say reap what you're sowing. If you're sowing bad seeds, bad is gonna come. I don't care what nobody says. Good morning to Alice. How you doing? And Penelope, it's good to see y'all here in the chat. Y'all say good morning to each other. Y'all act like y'all family. We family, and it's just good to have our folks that are here. Thank you, and I'd like to say good morning to our next Congresswoman of the state of Mississippi. I'd like to say good morning to our wonderful, 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 wonderful candidate. Um, I'll get to that in a second. Uh, That's going to be our Congressperson Diane Black. Good morning to you, Miss Diane Black. Let me comment on this right this. What do you mean that someone is behind him? There's some big bosses behind him. He wasn't born no billionaire. He was born in the hood just like all of us that look like me. Those of you that have not and have silver spoons in your mouth, that you know where I'm going with that. This man has the money and the means. Somebody had to give it to him. Well, I say good morning to Brother Lee. Has just made his arrival to the studio, and we're just grateful for him. Grateful for you, Brother Lee. Good morning to you. But I wanted to let you all know, don't get all beside y'all self and get nervous and get mad at me because this man is doing the foolishness that he's doing. Call him out. I'm going to go a little bit further, but not right now. Let me do this. We're at 20 after the hour. You're listening to WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial. We're going to get ready to have our first commercial break. And then afterwards, I'm going to come back. Yeah, y'all say this man, old James, getting ready to say what he got. I'm going to say what I have to say and tell the truth. Because you know something? We got to stop lying to each other and stop having blinders on. Like we don't know what's going on. I'll talk about that in a minute. But you're listening to the Mac Man Morning Show. This is James Mac, the Mac Man. I is here, and we'll be back in a little bit.
America, we are not going back. We are not going back. We are not going back.
I don't know about you, but I'm not going back. If you're not going back, vote Diane Black. Again, if you're not going back, vote Diane Black for U.S. Representative, 1st Congressional District of Mississippi, November 5th, 2024. Vote Diane Black.
Paid for by friends of Diane Black.
If your locks ain't right and your twist is on limp, you know. Get over to Keisha Studio. Specialized in locks, natural hair, and extensions. When your hair needs that special attention, make Keisha Studios your next decision. Located 3964 Goodman Road E, Suite 122 in South Haven, Mississippi. Call 901-650-9487 for your appointment at Keisha Studios. You know.
And we're back. This is WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial. This is the Mac Man Morning Show, and I am James Mack, your man on the street. And we like to welcome all of our wonderful listeners, those of you that are in your homes, your places of business, or wherever you may be listening to this wonderful broadcast. Good morning to our chat. Those of you that come every day, let me bug you and talk all kind of jive to you and say hello and all these other things. We like to say good morning to Keisha the Stylist, the Lock Goddess of Memphis International. That's on. That's one of our wonderful sponsors. We like to thank you for your wonderful support that you have given to us, and we like to say good morning. Keisha's going to be coming on soon with some great information on hair and beauty care. You know, she's the Lock Goddess, and as you saw in her commercial, she does a wonderful job. I'd like to say good morning to Lil Red of Big Red's Blues Lounge over there in Clarksville, Mississippi. We want to say good morning to you. That's my friend, my dear friend, and a friend of this show. Good morning to our Congresswoman once again, to Miss Diane Black, for allowing us to carry your advertisement to get you going. I have faith and I'm trusting that we will get out and vote. Just vote the straight ticket. Vote the straight. We got to do something, folks. If we don't do anything and we sit back and let people roll over on us and talk about us because we supporting other candidates as a commentator and as an anchor person and as a reporter, all those things put together, I have a responsibility and I have a comment, and that's mine. I've endorsed, made my endorsement clear, and I stand on my endorsement uh, for the vice president. That's James Mack. That ain't nobody else. That's just me. And if y'all want to join in the chat and say who you like, you can put it. Even if you like the orange man, you got a right. That's what we're trying to protect, folks. We're trying to protect the integrity of this country, not the integrity. It's a lot of things going on. It's a lot of things happening. We can complain about this and complain about that. We don't want this. We don't want that. We don't want the other. And all these things we can say. But you know something? When democracy is at stake and when we're at the brinks of we don't know what in the world is going to happen, and we got people all over this country acting like they don't have any kind of sense or whatever the case may be. Um, you just can't go to bed with the evil one. Okay. And I'm just going to tell the truth. All of this foolishness that's going on about unaliving and folks in the bushes. Now, our bushes is good because ain't nobody in the bushes that I know in our Magman morning show bushes, and there's a whole lot of y'all there. I know that it is. Y'all could like and subscribe, and I can let you know when we come on the air. We got some other things getting ready to come on our YouTube channel, and also, there's great programming on WKRA, but I'm going to say what I have to. I'm going to tell it like it is, and let you know we're at the brinks, folks. If we don't get out here and vote, if you sit at home and don't vote, don't talk to me. Don't come up to me or say I don't want nobody coming up to me and talking about. "Ugh, I didn't vote because my vote didn't come out." You sound stupid if you don't get up off your tail and go vote. Early voting, and I don't mean it's early voting, but the version of early voting in this, I'm talking to you, Mississippi, Marshall County, DeSoto County, Panola, all of y'all in North Mississippi in the Delta, get off your tail, get down to the clerk's office. And if you know you're not going to be voting or allowed to vote, or you got to go to work early, or you're going to be out of your voting district, please go to your county seats, your county offices to make sure that you cast your vote. Make sure you get a receipt of your casting of your vote. Okay, make sure that you got your ID together. Don't go in there naked that you don't have. We can't do that no more. Well, we know Mr. Jones. We know this. We don't know. Come in there with your ID, your voter ID, whatever it is. Come in there. Don't wear anything that'll indicate so they won't throw you out or nothing. Don't get mad if the lines are long because we need these lines to be long. We need these lines to make them mad, make them go out there and go print some more ballots because this is very important. You thought that Barack Obama's election was something, and I don't take anything away from that, brother. I am saying to you this right here. The candidate, the one that's going to bring us over across this borderline is, I believe in my heart, is the vice president of the United States. She's already in the office right there, right beside the president, and done a great job. She didn't turn her back on him. See, we got these people out here talking about eating cats and all this old foolishness and craziness. And what kind of fool would say and get on the air and talk about, oh, they eating your pets and they eating your cats and the dog and this and that. And I know we have fun with it. I laugh every time I hear it, but it's not funny. These people are planting this garbage in people's heads. Get on me. You got somebody put up the email address. If you got something to say it to me. If you don't like what I'm saying, or if what I'm saying is foreign to you, and you just so happen that you in the twilight zone and you can't get out of it because this man done hypnotized you or done something to y'all to make y'all go for him. I don't understand it. And let's talk about Congress for a minute there. We got to have that. The president has to have the new president has to have a Congress, and I'm predicting that she has to have a Congress that will put things in place to stop these things that are going on. Are you hearing me? Yeah, are you hearing me? If you got to bring, that's right, Dr. J. Um, if you got to bring your lawn chair, bring your lawn chair, bring your lawn chair and sit down there. You need some water. Those of you that know where the voting booth, the polling places are, get you some water. Stop being stingy. Spend some of that money that you got. And you see somebody out there sitting out there trying to vote. Go get your lawn chair, like Dr. J say. Go get your lawn chair, or go get your lawn chair and let somebody sit down and just tell them, hey, I'll come back and I get it. Get you something to eat. You know what I'm saying? Those of you that live around these polling places, make your bathroom available for people if they have to come, if you're a business or something. I'm not going back to Jim Crow. I'm not going back to being called something that is not my name. My name is James. It's not the N word or whatever the case may be. No matter what you think of it, it makes no difference what you think about me, but it does make a difference what I think about you. See, I ain't going to hell for nobody, and I don't hate anybody. But I got enough sense enough to see. The blind man, Stevie Wonder, tried to tell y'all at the convention that the president is right there and he blind, he can't see. We can see, got our faculties and our supposed to have our right mind. And you see what this man is doing. I'm sick of him. I'm sick of this foolishness. We need to, I can't wait. 7 weeks, folks. We got 7 weeks. We doing any and everything. Vote the whole ticket. Diane Black needs your support here in Mississippi. Mississippi has been drugged, and all y'all that got relatives in Mississippi in the chat, just say Mississippi. Put the Mississippi in there. Let's see if you got anybody that love or whatever. Get your raincoat, get you a plastic bag, stand out there. You might not have been in the civil rights movement, but doggone it, you can get out there and make a difference. I'm not saying that the vice president is going to solve my problems. I'm not saying that she's going to create something that's perfect. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that somebody has to be in that White House that got some sense to keep that man away from those controls. Now, if you don't like it, y'all ain't listening to me. I don't know. I got to get me some here. Let me put this up here so that you can see. This is what I want y'all to do right here. Let me see if I can get this. Let me make sure. Here it is right here. Email me and talk about me. I got some words for you, and we ain't gonna talk about that on the air. If you feel that I am not the person that you want to hear, or if you got a problem with what I got to say, then you come on this show. I got you in link. If you want to come on, open your mouth and say something. We need some folks to come in here and say something. I'm grateful for all of you that are here. Forgive me for hooting and hollering and being, and carrying on. But I'm about tired of this man. He's getting on my nerve. He's getting on my last nerve. And I promise you that I will be there early to vote. I'm gonna vote early. I'm going to vote early. I'm going to the county clerk because I'll be on the air. And we'll be doing election day coverage. Guess what's going to happen? WKRA and the MacMan Morning Show is getting together, and we're going to give election coverage. YouTube, get ready because we're going to have a long, long night. I'm so glad that our president and CEO Raven Autry, I'll finally get her on this show. It ain't that she don't want to come on; she's real busy. We're going to be doing election coverage along with our wonderful panel. Our chief correspondent, I said what I said, and our chief contributor, Mr. Lee, are going to give us their coverage from their areas that they're going to be covering. We're going to have a lot of other people that are going to be coming on live, and we're going to make this happen. Come on, folks. It's time to make a change. It's time for us to get off our behinds and do something. Here, these people want to take Project 2025 is real. I know you ain't gonna read it. Let me tell you what the highlights are. They're gonna send you back to where it is. You think the jails are filled now. Wait until they get a handle on things. They're gonna stop they want to stop everything, even social. You mean to tell me I worked this hard to get me some social security in my life? I ain't 60 or nothing yet or whatever, but they won't be here because that man, y'all rich now. They filthy rich on the golf course. And I can't go play golf. I got to go to work. I can't go play on the roller coasters. I got to go to people got to go to work and do things. They children got to go to school. They trying to feed their families. And y'all sitting around here talking about you're going to take us back to a time that we don't even, some of us don't even know we only read, and those of y'all that do read the books and things and like that, Google and YouTube these videos about how people had to fight, scraps. We had dogs put on us and everything, water hoses and everything, call all kind of names. Oh, but we can cook your food, scrub your toilets, and do your ironing and your washing. And you can use my grandmother, my mother, my sisters, my nieces, and my friends as your surrogate and your concubines. Oh, they're good enough for that. Oh, I don't like me no N-word people. I don't like N-words. I don't like the N-words peoples. And they ain't this, they bums and they this and that. Your mama's a bum. Now I said it. Now take that. You want to get in touch with me? Put my email address up there, please. Somebody, don't take it down. Put it up. Somebody, I'll do it myself. I ain't got time for all of this. You got something to say, or you think that what I said is not what you want to hear? That's fine. You need to come and get at the Mac man because I got something for you. I'm about sick of this foolishness. Get off your tail and go vote. Don't sit at home talking about you'll go to the football game, but you won't go vote. You'll go to the Mardi Gras, you go to all the parties, you go to the clubs, you go get drunk, you go do everything else. Y'all even go to church, go to the polls. Let's get this done. Let's get some stability around here because if that idiot get in there, we in. I ain't going back. I don't care what he said. I ain't going back. Take his. He can take himself back and his folks. His folks don't even like him. I'm through. I said what I said, brother Lee. Good morning. I'm so sorry for all of that hollering and can. I'm not hollering, but I'm about sick of this foolishness. I'm sick of these people with this crazy. Stop acting like we got our head in the sand, and we need to do something. Good morning, brother Lee. I said what I said. You better do something about me because the people's might. I don't know. Go ahead. What you think? What you think? They ain't gonna throw me off there. I don't think that WKRA would do that because we, as the press, let me go. See, you started me now a little bit. I'm gonna shut up in 2 seconds, 2 minutes. I'm a member of the press. I'm a reporter. I have a First Amendment right, and I'm a decent reporter. I'm a decent reporter. I'm not one of these sensationalists talking about flying saucers is in the air. I'm not a gossip columnist. I don't care who you sleeping with. I don't care what you're doing. I have nothing. I don't care what you're doing. You're a human being. God made us all. I'm trying to tell you that this man is trying his best to take us to a place where I'm never going. Now you can go if you want to, but I ain't going. I'm not going. And you can call us idiots. You can call us the N word. You can call me anything you want to call me. I've been called better and talked about better by better folks. Okay? So when you get through talking, if you can't cuss better than Otter McCrae, you need to get up out of my face. Okay? Because I've heard everything. Okay? So get up, Mississippi. I'm not talking about Tennessee. I'm not talking about Arkansas. I'm not talking about anywhere. I'm talking about in the very racist state of Mississippi that they still trying to keep us on the bottom. They've been quiet. The other part and the other side has been quiet because they nervous. They know what's going on. They've been supporting this man, flying on his airplane, all kinds of stuff, eating his old Mar-a-Lago noodles and all that old food. I wouldn't even eat at his house. I wouldn't even go there. But you talk about you represent the state of Mississippi with the majority of the people in this state are people of color, and y'all got a nerve to sit there and there's some stuff that was said. And let me set you straight right now. I'm a human being. I was born here. My folks were shipped here. What they was used as shark bait along the way in the Strait of Hormuz and coming around this strait to come over here. And you brought my ancestors over here treating us like we dogs. And he don't wait until you get to heaven, because if you think your slave master grandparents and ancestors up there, they down somewhere, probably flames is hitting them because they feel ain't nobody superior but God. And he made us all in his image and in his likeness. I wish you would make it seem like I don't know what I'm talking about. Or you mad and you mad because I said I don't like that orange joker with all that orange makeup on. He ain't got no color. You mad because I got good melon and looking good. Okay, I'm sick of him. I'm sick, and you know what's going to make me unsick of him? On November the 5th, we're going to get out here and we're going to put him in permanent retirement. He going to jail. Y'all might as well build. He might well take some of that money and build a jail for him. Put a concrete box or something and put him in there. Bring him to Parchment. You want to come somewhere? They ought to send him to Parchment prison. Do the same as you try to do to us. You lock my folks up. He doing all kind of things and attacking women
Yeah,
and doing all that old
yeah.
foolishness. I'm just gonna tell the truth. I'm sorry, y'all, but I just got to tell the truth. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of him and people that are like him. And if you old fogies and you folks sitting around here thinking that the South is gonna rise again, the Civil War is over. Ain't no more battle flags or that Confederate foolishness that y'all got going. Ain't no love in that history. When you step your foot on somebody's life, black people that's going along with them. You know what they call them. I ain't gonna say that though, because I'm decent. This is the FCC, and I'm a decent man. I don't have to say anything or cuss or anything like that to get my point across. I got enough words in my vocabulary that I can say what I need to say. I said what I said. You better do something. Give me. I'm just gonna shut up. Go ahead, give me your
Hey,
feelings. I'm through with all
well,
that.
James, I'm right there with you. You know how I feel about it. I am so tired of him. I'm tired of him being in the news, trying to trying to divide everybody up, spewing all this disinformation, and just blatantly telling lies. He's just blatantly lying, and then he used projection. I'm tired of the news pundits trying to make everything 50-50. I'm tired of everybody saying, well, we had a better economy when he was in there. Of course, we had a better economy because he went in there and he was in there spending money like a drunken sailor. And so when you spend money like a drunken sailor, then the bottom have to, fall out at one point. And not only him, every Republican president that we get into office, tear everything up, and then it takes a Democrat to rebuild the country. And then everybody else say, well, Democrats don't do anything for me. They can't do anything for you because they got to try to pick up the pieces and put it all back together. And so I'm just tired of people being misinformed. I'm tired of people being lazy, and I'm tired of people using these. Let me try to say it in a nice way. Uh, well, let's go along to get along, and just believe in the hype. Everybody know what this is. Everybody been warned about how the country is gonna go, and so, like James say, it is up to us. He doesn't have the power unless we give him the power. And he's doing any and everything he can to get back in power because we all know what lies ahead for him and what he's having to face. And the last thing I need to say before I let Lee speak, because I know he has something to say also. No company in America would even think about accepting his application, less known hiring him to even go sweep. He can't even go to McDonald's and mop their flow with the record that he has. So if he can go be the president and but McDonald's won't hire him, what is wrong with that picture? I don't know any CEO in America that would hire him with 34 felonies. Like I said before, if it was your son or your daughter that had at least just one felony, they would have to move mountains just to go and mop the floor at McDonald's. Lee, I'll let you go ahead.
I would like to say, first, sister, I'd like to say great day for everybody.
Great day.
Uh, and I like to say, make a few corrections here and there. When President Obama left office, unemployment was at 5%. When Donald Trump took over, when President Obama left him with 5% unemployment. When Trump left, it was at 25%. So Democrats left him in great shape. They just said hold the wheel steady, and he got off the road. So he couldn't even hold the wheel steady. So, when you hand your government over to someone who's not qualified, who's actually, When he first got his first casino hotel, he had $5 million. You can't build a hotel with $5 million. So he had to get an investor. So in order to convince the investors to invest into his casinos, he needed $50 million. You know what he told them? He had some land that he had the investors come out and see before they came out to see, because Donald Trump told those investors that he had already had the place under construction. But it wasn't under construction. He hired every moving equipment in the area to pretend that they was under construction so he could get that investment. So he's a con man. If you want to check my facts, please do. Look it up. That man had he spent every nickel his father gave him, almost down to $5 million. That's all he had. He was close to bankruptcy. You talking about the man with the plan. He was close to bankruptcy. He's got bankrupt many times now. I'm talking, when I say bankruptcy, I say out of money. But he's been bankrupt. He's filed bankruptcy more than most people in this country. So when we talk about him and what he has done, and you say, sister said what I said, that he spent like a drunken sailor, and that's why the economy was so good. The economy was crashing when he didn't raise the economy. He didn't do any of those things. It seemed like it in the media that he didn't. You know, he didn't do anything about the COVID. He didn't request that we get $1 trillion to help the people in COVID. That was Congress. That was the Democrats that did that. So he's taking credit for things he did not do. He wouldn't sign the bill for COVID. He wouldn't sign the bill. They had to override him. You know, so look it up. Check the facts. The thing is, we spend a lot of time talking about what he didn't do and what he's done to damage this country. Is that we need to talk more about VP Harris and what she's done and what she's planning to do. You know, and that's the thing. She's more qualified. That's why she was very pleased to have that debate. It's like debating against a child. He was like a child, and he dreaded that. Debating and talking about policy is not his thing. He's a con man, a flim-flam man. He'll tell you he's just like he's selling that stuff on the corner, snake oil or whatever. He'll tell you it does wonders. It kills everything. And he's saying he's the man that can cure everything that knows nothing. And how can somebody is so uneducated? He doesn't talk about his background because he doesn't have a good one. He doesn't talk about his education because he never graduated from anywhere. Look it up. I say check my facts. If you want to know something, check it. Because he doesn't have that kind of background to back anything. Now, I'd like just say, we spend so much time talking about the devil. Let's talk about, you know, we know who the devil is, but we got to keep telling people the devil. And you got to tell a fool about the devil, then that fool he's no good to you. We keep saying the devil is doing this and the devil did that and the devil. The man tells you who he is. He said, look, I don't like black folks. I don't like any kind of brown folks. I don't like Mexicans. I don't like Italian. I don't like. He will play up to every dislike you don't like. If you don't like spaghetti, he'll say, I don't like it either. If you don't like hot dogs, I don't like it either. Whatever you don't like, he don't like. You know, he'll tell a black man, I don't like the white man. And he white. He'll play up to play up to whatever hate that you have, he'll represent your hate. He'll represent your hate. He'll represent anything you don't like, he'll be it. He'll be with you on it. He'll hold up a sign. I hate honkies. I hate Mexicans. I hate this. Whatever you got a problem with, he on your side until he can get your vote. And then he'll tell you can go down the river with that. That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
Well, Lee, let me
This is
clarify something.
WKRA. Wait, let's go to our break real quick. Hold what you got there for a second. I said what I said. This is the
Okay.
Magman Morning Show. This is WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial. You're listening to, of course, the Magman Morning Show. Let me say this before we go to our break. By no means that and forgive me, because I see what's happening. I'm observing what's happening. You say, well, James, you got hot under the collar or whatever the case may be. Under no circumstances am I hot under the collar. All I want to do is make sure, let's put both before the people. Please make the conscious decision that you have to. We're going to go to break in a little bit. This is the Magman Morning Show on WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial.
If your locks ain't right and your twist is on limp, you know, get over to Keisha Studio. Specialized in locks, natural hair, and extensions. When your hair needs that special attention, make Keisha Studios your next decision. Located 3964 Goodman Road E, Suite 122 in South Haven, Mississippi. Call 901-650-9487 for your appointment at Keisha Studios. You know.
America, we are not going back. We are not going back. We are not going back.
I don't know about you, but I'm not going back. If you're not going back, vote Diane Black. Again, if you're not going back, vote Diane Black for U.S. Representative, 1st Congressional District of Mississippi, November 5th, 2024. Vote Diane Black.
Paid for by friends of Diane Black.
Welcome to the Mac Minute, where we are spotlighting America's very first black senator. Hiram Revels of Mississippi became the very first black senator in 1870. Born in North Carolina in 1827, Revels attended Knox College in Illinois and later served as the head minister of the AME Church in St. Louis. During the Civil War, he raised 2 black regiments while in Maryland and then fought at the Battle of Vicksburg. In 1868, Revels became an alderman at the church in Natchez. From here, he would take the U.S. Senate seat left vacant during the Reconstruction era. And he quickly became an outspoken opponent of racial segregation. Revels made good use of his time in office, speaking out against racial segregation and fighting efforts to undermine the civil and political rights of African Americans. When his brief term ended on March 3rd, 1871, he returned to Mississippi, where he later became the president of Alcorn College. My name is Samaji Anand, and you are now tuned into the Mac Man Morning Show on WKRA 92.7 FM.
Attention WKRA listeners, if you would like to advertise on the MacMan Morning Show, please leave a message at macmedia3@gmail.com.
And we're back. This is WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial. This is the MacMan Morning Show. Good morning. I am James Mack. Can you all hear me? Okay. All right. Like I said, this is the MacMan Morning Show. Thank you to all of our wonderful sponsors, all of those that have supported us, whether it's through your prayers, whatever the case may be. We like you to come and be with us each and every uh, weekday morning at 9 o'clock on WKRA. You can support us. Uh, we got a Cash App. That if you'd like to, we got things that we're trying to do. We're preparing for our election coverage, and it's going to take us to, we might need a piece of equipment or so. You can support us. It's nothing wrong with it. The Mac Media 3 at Mac Media 3. Cash App is Mac Media 3. Your dollars, your $5, your whatever you'd like to give, it will be graciously appreciated for what you do. Like to thank all of you for being here, all of our chat members. Like to thank you all for all that you have done and how you stick with us. I'm going to stand on the wall. I'm going to do that I must do to bring inspiration and information, accurate information. At this time, we're going to start with our go to our national segment. I'm sure I said what I said, and Brother Lee got something real interesting they're going to talk about on today. And at this time, our senior uh, correspondent and our chief correspondent, I said what I said, and our lead senior contributor, Brother Lee, with our national report.
Okay. Thank you, James. I was just wanting to make a clarification because I think Lee misunderstood what I said. I said people think that Trump, um, they had a good economy when Trump was in office, and I totally agree with him about he had a surplus when he entered office, and we had a huge deficit when he left office, and so that's just the information that people feel. They feel like they had more money when he was in office, like because, like I said, he was spending like a drunken sailor and and just let everybody do any have all the money, took all the rules and regulations away. So a lot of people did make a lot of money while he was in office, but like I said, he didn't do it the right way, and he had a huge deficit when he left. But today we're going to talk about we're going to continue with our grandfather clause series, and today we're going to talk about honoring our Black forefathers and the sacrifices that they made for us and how we honor them today. Honoring the sacrifice of the Black forefathers are being carried out today in various and meaningful ways. Education and awareness is when Black people were, education and awareness is one way that we honor them. When Black people were slaves, the majority of them could not read or write. They didn't have a use for education since they were forced to be slaves, and they were considered property or commodities versus being a citizen. So today, we learn and we teach others about Black history, including the struggles and achievements of our Black leaders and communities. We also participate in community engagement participation, and it's another way, in another form of showing honor to them. Some Black people give lectures, exhibitions, and participate in cultural festivities. Historical preservation support museums, historical sites, and archives that preserve Black history and culture, and it occur in all states across the United States. Some people some Black people contribute scholarships for Black students, or they donate to the Negro College Fund or different organizations that support Black communities. Storytelling and records from elders in the community also preserve history, literature, reading, performance. All of those are examples of honoring sacrifices that were made. Social media is used to raise awareness also about issues affecting Black communities. it can reach a vast amount of people in a short time frame, if not in real time. Legal support funds help provide assistance to those provide assistance to those fighting racial injustice, and some people help fight environmental justice to help address the disproportionate impact of environmental issues within the Black community. Now, voting is the most important way that we can honor the sacrifices that they made, and all of these actions help ensure that we honor our forefathers and that their sacrifices continue to inspire a positive change. And James, I heard you say, how can we honor them in the beginning of the live of our forefathers with everything going on? And yeah, it is a lot going on across the United States. However, some people still find time to be philanthropers. They find time to mentor young Black kids, and they find different ways of honoring our forefathers. And so I don't feel like we've given up hope altogether. We just have to stick together. And like I said, our voting power is the best way and the most important way that we can honor them for all the sacrifices that they made for us. And so that's the end of my report. It's kind of short today, but I just wanted to give a few examples of some people still trying to honor the forefathers. And sometimes it feels like that the community is not together because we do a lot of complaining. However, there are still people that do try to keep the community together. And I am amazed with all of the Black museums that we have. That's one thing that I really love that we have in different states. I like to visit historical museums because it just give you a sense of awareness of what they had to go through. And so, Lee, do you have any examples of how we can honor our forefathers?
Well, yes, I do, Sister Said, and I understand what you said about that rebuttal. I get you, and you were talking about what the people feel like, and sometimes their feelings can be wrong. And in that case, their feelings did match what was going on. But that's not, and I understand exactly what you meant by doing that, and I appreciate that rebuttal. The thing about remembrance about our forefathers is that I think we're at a place now where we have to revise education. Education has to be looked at and see if it needs to be revised. And what I mean by that is that we're educating our kids the same way we educated them 40, 50 years ago. That's not working now. In other countries, they're doing it in a different way, which is a better way. I mean, the kids in Japan, they're being educated in mathematics completely different from where we are. And it's better, quicker, faster, and they learn more. In China, the same thing. In other countries, they're doing it. We're so by far behind other countries as far as education. And then we get to the history part. We're being taught a false history, a history that's empty, a history that's misleading. How can we get inspired if we don't know what we're being inspired to do? We're inspired, actually, the information that we're given in our history, they're telling us, I'll just give you an example. The Revolutionary War, they're telling us how they freed themselves from tyranny, from Britain rule. And they talk like we were involved. We were slaves. And then when we did get involved into the Revolutionary War, they said we would be given our freedom. And the thing about that is they owned us, but they're telling us they're going to give us something that's inherited, that's our right to be free. So for them to tell us that's our history, that's not our history. And in the Civil War, they said, well, we fought for our freedom. Freedom is nothing that you can give somebody and take it away. Yeah, you can hold me captive as a person. You can hold my body. You can capture my body. You can jail my body, but you can't hold somebody's freedom. You don't have the right to put someone into a prison and hold them forever. Now, there's people that should be in there. Now, I contradict just what I said, but To say that prisoners, convicts, people that comes out of prison and they say I'm gonna set you free and they can't vote, but you can walk this country, but you don't have any rights as a person. Your dog has more rights than a convict. You know, your dog can go places a convict can't go. Dogs can go to bars, sports bars. Convicts cannot be around sports bars or other convicts. Dogs can be around other dogs, but convicts can't be around people who committed a crime, but they paid their dues. They paid their dues. And that's the thing is that I want to get to as far as education. We've been educated wrong. We've been educated in an antiquated way. It's behind the times. History history is being taught in a sad way, very sad, and the kids can't get inspired. The little kids, the 5-year-olds, the 8-year-olds, the 20-year-olds can't get inspired about something they hear that's wrong. We feel that it's wrong. We know that it's wrong, but still they got professors that has PhDs teaching a false history that we respect. They got black professors, white professors teaching the history that's wrong, you know, and they're not telling us truly what we need to know. And that's what I have to say.
Okay, I just want to give James. I like these pictures that you're putting up while we're talking, and because these pictures represent these black men that you see right now. These are the black men that actually went to Congress after the Reconstruction era. And I guarantee you, I've never seen these men in class when I went to school. When I was taught Black history, no one ever told us that we had this many black citizens, black senators in Congress after the Reconstruction era. And once black men were able to vote, they came together and they put all of these black men in office. And it's not just one state. If you look at it, it's Mississippi, Alabama, South Carolina, Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, and three of them came from South Carolina. And so today, we don't even have any black senators to represent any of these states. I feel like because these guys made it, the white people made sure that that would never happen again. They made sure that they didn't inform us of all of these black men that actually serve in the U.S. Congress. And so we say that we don't want to go back. We've already went back, in my opinion, because we don't have enough black representation in Congress today. Congress looked like it did before we had the Civil War. And so that's why it's very important for everybody. That's why we keep harping on going to go vote, go register vote, go make sure that your registration is up to date and that you can vote, because it happened before. And so if they want to take us back, let them take us back to this picture that we're looking at right now. If we want to go back, since they want to take us back, we can put these black men, we can put black people, men and women, in office. You don't see any women on this picture because women didn't have the right to vote at that time. Women didn't get a right to vote until 1920, when they had the women's suffrage era. And when all women came together, black, white, and any other nationality, all women had to come together just in order to get their right to vote. And so it's been a long struggle. It's gonna be a long struggle, but we need to get back to this right here, to these pictures. And all of these pictures that James have been showing, if you're on YouTube and you can see them, all of these pictures just represent of how far we've come and how far we've fallen. Because in my opinion, we kind of dropped the ball when it comes to voting. I don't know when it became a non-popular thing to vote, because in the 60s you even had Martin Luther King and all the civil rights leaders uh, marching so that we can get our rights. Yeah, we had an opportunity to vote in the 60s, but we still had Jim Crow laws that we were fighting against. We had all type of segregation laws that we were fighting against. And today we still are have laws that we're fighting against. They just don't call it Jim Crow and segregation anymore. And so what they do now is they use prices to segregate you. And they're not saying that you can't go live in their neighborhoods, but they'll jack that price up so high to where it's going to keep you out of that neighborhood. And so they're very ingenious on coming up with ways to try to stop us. And so we need to wake up and understand what's really going on and how they're really trying to stop us from exercising our right to be a citizen. We didn't ask to come over here. They brought us over here. And ever since they brought us over here on that boat, they have been treating us like a second class citizen. And we're still being considered as a second class citizen. And let me go ahead and talk about these dogs that Lee is talking about. I don't know if people know this or not, but if you do anything to one of those police dogs, they're considered a human. You will get the same charges if you harm one of those police dogs, you'll get the same charges as if you hurt a person. And so Lee is absolutely right. Pets have more rights in America than the average man have.
We live
Well,
in
my
a
sister,
society. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
oh, I just like to say really quickly is that those black senators, that's a fact. Those pictures you see is a fact. But then we got to pull back the layers because there are layers to that. At those times that senators hold those office, they did not get voted in because we wasn't given the right to vote at that time. How did we get into those offices? We were appointed to those offices. Those senatorial offices, we were appointed. And the thing is, they didn't serve the whole 6 years. You know, those places that they served, those offices that they served in the South, they were vacated by the Caucasians. They vacated them in protest. They was vacated them because they were called not a state, you know, because they took themselves, separated themselves from the U.S. So those black folks that we put in office, they were appointed. They weren't allowed to serve their whole 6 years. You know, that was for a reason because the Caucasians decided to take it back and vacate and void those terms. So we don't want to go back there where we have to be appointed and not voted for. You know, that was a nice sentiment, but they did not take us serious until we actually take those positions through a vote. You know, then they are real. You know, so I like to say I commend them for having those positions, but those positions were not given by voters, by our voters, by our voices. They were appointed by Caucasians who deemed us qualified by whatever criteria that they thought so. That's all I have to say.
I want to ask a question of you guys, and I know that uh, we're living in a day and time that changes are being made, things in culture and so forth and so on. And I heard someone say, "Well, you're an American, you got all the rights that everybody else has, and you can do this and you can do that and you can do this. You're a full citizen. You're a full citizen." And I had to stop that person and say, "Well, I and the people that look like me have never been considered equal." If you know where I'm going with that, y'all, we never had an of the fair shake. If all of this is true, and if we're part of the we the people, which we are now, I know we are. But then we had no. You look at the this. Let's go back to 1970. We don't even have to go to the 1800s or whatever the case is. Let's go just to the 70s. The state of Mississippi had to. Um, it was still bogged down. They still would not let go of segregation. They would people it would not. You still had people that were working on plantations and living in substandard housing and no plumbing and outhouses. And I'll never forget my brother helped my grandmother lived in rural Quitman County. And as he went to school and college there, he was her main supporter. But he had to, and I commend my brother for pulling my grandmother out of that situation and putting her in the house where there's flush and toilet, there's water running, gas, all of the amenities that modern day living should have. And those are the people that live in that subdivision that they had gotten together because people were living still on plan. They were still almost sharecropping and all these other things. And I'm sitting there like, I don't believe we as a people have really had a real opportunity to be shown as an equal. Am I wrong or right, or what? Are my feelings wrong, or I'm living in the twilight zone? Somebody help me out here.
No, James, we're still fighting for equal. We've been talking about that ever since we've been on air. They still haven't, like I said, to me, in my opinion, they still look at us as a second class citizen, and that we don't need to be equal to them because they're above us. They own everything because they have the old money. We never really had the money that they've had and the land that they've had. Whenever we build our communities up or get something, they make sure they burn it up or tear it down, or make sure that we stay on the bottom. So you're absolutely right. We're not equal yet, and the fight has been going on ever since the Civil War, and it's still going on today. Just a prime example is this guy running for president. If you flip the script, and if that was Obama that had all of this stuff, all these charges against him, and have tried to turn the black community against the white community, they would have ran him out of the country more than likely. They already wanted him to show his birth certificate to prove that he was an American citizen. And so it's just two standards of justice, two standards of the way of life that we live. And they're still fighting to keep their power. And I feel like they're going to do that, until the end of time. They're never going to consider us as an equal to them.
That's true. You're listening to WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial. This is the MacMan Morning Show. Y'all know when it gets good, like that last piece of chicken. Man, you don't hate to put it down, but listen, we've come together today to, um, with this great and wonderful show that we had, just to try to inspire and get our community together. And I'd like to thank our chief correspondent and our lead correspondent. Uh, I said what I said, and our senior contributor, Brother Lee, for a wonderful show on this morning. As we get ready to wrap up, I want you all to understand and realize, I want you to hear me and put this down a little bit. I want you all to know that it is very important. Let's change it. Let's change the way that things are going. Let's change the way that we look at life and how we look at things. Let's change it, folks. Let's try to do something. The best thing possible that we can do is our right to vote, but change our community, change where we're living. Let's try to get together and stop some of this violence and some of the things that are going on that people try to perceive us as. We're human beings. We made in the image and the likeness of God, all of us. So I know that there's nothing perfect. There's nobody perfect. But I believe that if we put our collective thoughts and our collective minds together, we can go a long, long way. I'm James Mack. This is the Mac Man Morning Show. You're listening to WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial. We want to thank you for coming out. We want to thank you for listening. We want to thank you for sharing. We want to thank you for just being there, participating to our chat and our YouTube audience. We want to thank you for watching each and every morning, giving us an opportunity to come together with you, giving us an opportunity to do the things that we do. And on tomorrow, we'll be back. We're going to be continuing our I said what I said. We'll be continuing the Grandfather Claus series in her final report for the week. And also on Friday, look out Friday, we're going to have some fun with Brother Lee. And Brother Lee is going to give us a little sample of what he does in his spare time, whenever he has spare time. But he's going to bring up and talk about an issue that's going along in entertainment that you need to hear about, and some things that are happening. Brother Lee's going to feature on Friday. We want to thank all of you for being with us. This is James Mack, and this is the Mac Man Morning Show on WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial. We love you, and we hope that all is well. Be good to each other, love each other, and it ain't going to cost you not one dime to be good to each other. We will see you on tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock.
It's the Mac Man Morning Show. It's the Mac Man Morning Show. It's the Mac Man Morning Show. It's the Mac Man Morning Show.
Sitting at home or you in your car.
It's the Mac Man Morning Show.
No matter if you get far.
It's the Mac Man Morning Show.
You better tune in quick or you might just miss.
It's the Mac Man Morning Show.
The best show this side of the sea.
It's the Mac Man Morning Show. 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 It's the Mac Man Morning Show.
And we're clear. All right, everybody. God bless. Thank you. All right, WKRA, thank you very, very much for all that you do. We'll talk. And for everybody that's on our uh, YouTube channel, thank you all for listening to us. This is WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial.